Ryan Callahan handed me the challenge coin at our Veterans Day ceremony, engraved with Brothers for Life, while my wife carried his baby. I didn't know it yet, not standing at that podium with 200 veterans and families watching. Not when I held up that coin, solid brass, heavy in my palm, warm from my pocket, and told the story one more time. How Ryan carried me off a battlefield in Afghanistan. How I owed him everything. How brotherhood meant you never forgot the man who saved your life. The coin made this distinctive clink when I set it on the podium, solid, certain, like everything I thought I knew. This coin represents brotherhood, I said. The November sun was cold on my face. When your brother carries you, you never forget. You owe him everything. Ryan sat in the third row. He couldn't look at me. I thought it was modesty. My daughter Emma stood off to the side in her JROTC dress blues, 14 years old. Every brass button polished to mirror shine. The Ranger tab pin I'd given her gleamed on her collar, black and gold enamel, about the size of a quarter. She touched it when she was nervous. Pride blazed in her eyes as she watched me speak. My wife Jennifer sat beside Ryan, 8 months pregnant, glowing. I thought I was the luckiest man alive. 3 hours later, I'd realize everything was built on sand. The pregnancy announcement came via Facebook. I found out with 80 other people. I was in my office at Second Chance Warriors, the veterans nonprofit where I work as transition coordinator, when my phone lit up with notifications. Jennifer had posted a photo, her holding an ultrasound image, beaming smile, caption reading, "Surprise blessing, baby Brennan coming December." The comments flooded in before I could process it. Congratulations from the entire military spouse support group she ran. Heart emojis from women I'd never met. Jennifer's mother, Maria, writing, "So proud of you both." I hadn't known she was pregnant. The photo was printed on glossy paper, 8x10, the kind you get from a professional printer. She'd planned this, made it public before telling me privately. The timestamp in the corner read March 15th. The caption claimed she was 8 weeks along. 8 weeks before March 15th. I pulled up my calendar. February, I scrolled back. February 1st through 7th. There it was. Denver, Colorado. Veterans Nonprofit Conference. I'd presented on PTSD support programs. I had hotel receipts. I had photos with the Denver nonprofit team. I had a conference badge with dates stamped on it, March 15th. 8 weeks pregnant. That meant conception around the first week of February. I was in Denver that week. I stared at the screen. My office suddenly felt smaller. The air conditioning hummed too loud. I counted again. Checked the calendar twice, 3 times. Pulled up old emails to confirm. I was in Denver. My phone buzzed. Text from Jennifer. "Surprise! Sorry you had to find out online. Wanted to announce to the support group during our meeting. Come home. We'll celebrate." I looked at my therapy appointment card. Blue cardstock, 3x5 inches, the VA clinic logo stamped on top. Purple ink. Michael Brennan, Tuesday 10:30 a.m., Dr. Hendricks. I'd been going every Tuesday for 2 years, managing my PTSD, dealing with nightmares from Afghanistan, processing the IED blast that ended my Army career and left me with a slight limp. My memory was fine. PTSD doesn't make you forget hotel reservations, doesn't make you hallucinate conference schedules. I was in Denver. She couldn't be 8 weeks pregnant. The math didn't work. "Dad, look what I found." Emma burst into the kitchen Saturday afternoon, holding something small and metallic. We were hosting our monthly community cookout. 50-plus veteran families scattered across our backyard, the smell of burgers on the grill, kids playing cornhole, that easy camaraderie that makes military communities feel like family. "Uncle Ryan's dog tags," Emma held them up. The stainless steel glinted in the sunlight. They made that distinctive clink, clink, clink sound as they swung from the ball chain. They were in the laundry basket. He must have left them here again. I froze. The spatula in my hand suddenly felt heavy. "Again?" I said. "Yeah, remember last month? He left them in the bathroom." Emma was already heading toward Ryan, who stood near the cooler talking to some guys from the 75th. "Uncle Ryan, you left these at our house again." I watched from across the yard. Ryan turned, saw Emma holding up the dog tags. His face went white. just for a second. Then he smiled, took them from her, ruffled her hair. "Thanks, kiddo. I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached." Everyone laughed. I didn't. Ryan's dog tags. In my house. In the laundry basket. The dog tags had a small dent in one tag. I could see it from here, from when Ryan took a fall during a training exercise in Kandahar. I'd teased him about it, called him clumsy. That felt like another lifetime. Why would Ryan's dog tags be in my laundry? Jennifer appeared beside me. "Burgers are burning," she said. I flipped them mechanically. She put her hand on my arm. I noticed her wedding ring, white gold band, engraved inside, "Forever his." We'd been married 11 years. I'd been faithful every single day. "You okay?" she asked. "Fine," I said. Ryan caught my eye from across the yard, raised his beer, smiled. I raised mine back. But the dog tags rattled in my mind. Cold metal. Emma finding them in the laundry. Again. If you've ever had that gut feeling something was off but couldn't name it, that crawling sensation in your spine, just type gut in the comments. Sometimes our instincts know before our minds catch up. You're not alone in that. I waited until Emma was in bed before I brought it up. Jennifer was in the bathroom, getting ready for bed. I stood in the doorway holding the pregnancy announcement printout. My hands weren't shaking, not yet. "Jen," I said, "I need to ask you something." She glanced at me in the mirror. "What's up?" "The pregnancy. You said 8 weeks on March 15th. "Yeah," she smiled. "Applied moisturizer, casual, easy." "That means conception around early February. Math genius," she laughed. "That's why I married you. I was in Denver February 1st through 7th. Her hands paused, just for a heartbeat, then continued moving. "You're confused about the dates, babe. I have hotel receipts. Maybe I'm not exactly 8 weeks. Maybe I'm 7 or 9. It's not exact science." She turned to face me. Concerned expression, the expression she used when she thought I was spiraling. "Mike, are you okay? Is this the PTSD?" There it was, the weapon she kept ready. "My memory's fine. Dr. Hendricks said stress can affect." "I'm not stressed. I'm asking a question." My voice stayed level, controlled, military discipline fighting the rage building in my chest. "When did we conceive?" "I don't know exactly." She put her hand on my arm, gentle, like she was calming a spooked horse. "Babe, you're worrying me. Maybe you should talk to Dr. Hendricks about this. Call her tomorrow." I pulled out my VA appointment cards, the stack of them, 2 years' worth, blue cardstock, corners soft, from my wallet. Every Tuesday, 10:30 a.m., like clockwork. "See these?" I held them up. Every Tuesday for 2 years, my therapy schedule. I'm not confused. I'm not having memory issues. I was in Denver February 1st through 7th. We couldn't have conceived then. Her expression shifted, defensive now. "So what are you saying?" "I'm saying the math doesn't add up. Maybe the PTSD is affecting your memory more than you think, Mike." Her voice got harder. "You need to trust me on this. I'm the one who's pregnant. I think I know when it happened." "Then when?" "I don't know. Does it matter?" She was getting angry now. Good. Anger was honest. "Why are you interrogating me? Are you accusing me of something?" I looked at her, really looked at her. My wife of 11 years, the mother of my daughter, the woman I'd trusted with everything. "No," I lied. "I'm just trying to understand." But I saw it in her eyes, the flicker, the fear. She was lying. I called Andre the next morning, Sergeant First Class Andre Washington, retired, my Army buddy, the only person I'd told when the suspicions started gnawing at me. We met at my office at Second Chance Warriors. I closed the door. "Show me the calendar," Andre said. I pulled up Jennifer's spouse support group schedule. She kept it in a pink spiral notebook, meeting dates, attendance lists, discussion topics. The pages smelled like her perfume. She must have held it close while writing, neat cursive in black ink. Andre flipped through it. His finger stopped on a margin note. Page 37. "What's this?" He pointed. I leaned in. The handwriting was Jennifer's. A small note beside a crossed-out date. R says can't do Tuesday. Mike has VA. R. Ryan. My therapy appointments were every Tuesday at 10:30. For 2 years. Every single Tuesday I'd leave the house at 10:30 a.m., drive to the VA clinic, spend 90 minutes with Dr. Hendricks working through nightmares and flashbacks, and survivor's guilt from Afghanistan. Every Tuesday, Andre pulled out my VA cards, compared the dates. His face went dark. Mike. His voice was quiet, deadly. Every support group meeting she scheduled, it's on a Tuesday, during your therapy window. I looked at the notebook, the crossed out dates, the rescheduled meetings, the margin note. R says can't do Tuesday. Mike has VA. R. Ryan couldn't do Tuesday because he knew I'd be gone. At therapy, dealing with my PTSD from the IED blast that nearly killed me. The blast that nearly killed Ryan. The blast where I took shrapnel saving his life. They coordinated around my PTSD therapy. While I was in Dr. Hendricks' office reliving the worst day of my life, the day I dragged Ryan's bleeding body across 50 meters of open ground under fire, the day shrapnel meant for him tore through my leg and ended my career. He was sleeping with my wife. They planned it. Every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m., I'd park at the VA clinic. Check in. Sit in Dr. Hendricks' office and talk about survivor's guilt, about feeling like I should have done more, about the nightmares where I don't reach Ryan in time. Every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m., Ryan and Jennifer coordinated their affair around my therapy schedule. Andre's hand was on my shoulder. Mike? The room tilted, the walls pressed in. This wasn't an accident, Andre said. His voice came from far away. They didn't just fall into this. Mike, they planned it. They weaponized your healing. I gripped the challenge coin in my pocket, the metal cut into my palm. The engraving, Brothers for Life, pressed against my skin like a brand. I carried you off that battlefield, I thought. The ground underneath me was gone. Maria Martinez opened her front door with a smile that died when she saw my face. Michael, we need to talk. I walked past her into the living room. About your daughter. Maria was 62, Jennifer's mother. She'd immigrated from Mexico 30 years ago, built a life here, raised 2 kids. I'd always respected her, thought she was principled, thought she valued family honor the way I valued military honor. I was wrong. Sit down, she said. I'll make coffee. I don't want coffee. I stayed standing. I want the truth. Did you know? She hesitated. That was answer enough. Jesus Christ. I turned away, turned back. How long? Michael, how long have you known that my wife was sleeping with my best friend? How long have you known that baby isn't mine? She flinched. You don't know that. I was in Denver when she conceived. I have hotel receipts, conference badges, photos with timestamps. My voice was getting louder. Couldn't stop it. The math doesn't work, Maria, and you know it. So I'm asking again, how long have you known? Maria sat down heavily. She told me a few months ago. And you said what? Congratulations? I told her. She closed her eyes. I told her it would be better if you didn't know, that Ryan was better than a stranger. At least you knew him. At least he could be in the child's life without raising suspicion. The room swam. I gripped the back of a chair to steady myself. You told her to lie to me. I told her to protect her family. I'm her family. She stopped, started again. Michael, you came back different from Afghanistan. The nightmares, the therapy. Jennifer needed someone who wasn't broken? The words came out like acid. Is that what you're saying? That's not... I took shrapnel meant for Ryan. I pulled out my medical discharge papers, coffee-stained manila folder, red stamp faded from years of photocopies. I threw it on her coffee table. It landed with the pregnancy announcement photo. She had it on her fridge. I'd seen it walking in. You see this? I pointed at the discharge papers. The pages had been folded and unfolded so many times they were soft like fabric. Page 3, combat-related injury, IED blast, Afghanistan. I carried Ryan Callahan 50 meters across open ground. Shrapnel hit my leg, ended my career. I was 20 seconds slower, getting us both to cover, and I took the hit meant for him. Maria was crying. I didn't care. This broken part? My hand shook holding the papers. I got it saving his life. And you told your daughter it was okay to betray me with him because I came back damaged? Michael, please, family stays together, right? That's what you people always say? I grabbed the photo, glossy paper, Jennifer's smiling face. But you taught your daughter to lie, to coordinate an affair around my PTSD therapy. While I was dealing with survivor's guilt about the man who's now sleeping with my wife, the front door opened. Jennifer, she stopped, saw me, saw the papers spread across her mother's coffee table. "Mike, get out," Maria said to her. "Mom, get out of my house, Rebecca." Maria's voice broke. "I can't look at you right now." Jennifer looked at me. "We need to talk." I walked toward the door. She blocked my path. "You need to move," I said. "Not until we talk." I looked at her. Really looked at her. 8 months pregnant. My wife of 11 years. The mother of my daughter. Carrying another man's child. "I thought I knew you," I said. I left. Andre found me at my apartment at 2 a.m. I'd moved out 2 days ago. Temporary housing until I figured out what came next. The place was barely furnished. Boxes everywhere. My deployment photo sat on top of one. Me and Ryan in desert camo, arms around each other, Afghan mountains in the background. The glass had fingerprints from me handling it so much. I hadn't been able to throw it away yet. Couldn't look at it either. "You ordered it?" Andre asked. The DNA test kit sat on my kitchen counter, white box with blue stripe, Gene Direct home kit, 2 swab collection tubes inside, instructions in English and Spanish. I'd been staring at it for an hour. "Not yet," I said. "I will." "You already know." "I need proof." I picked up the box. The security seal crackled under my thumb. For the divorce, for custody, for when Emma asks why I left her mother. Andre sat down across from me. "Once you know, I already know." I broke the seal. The sound was final, like breaking glass. "I just need it in writing." I opened the kit. The swab tubes clicked when I pulled them out. Sterile plastic smell, clinical, cold. "The gala's in 4 weeks," Andre said. "Ryan's the keynote speaker." I laughed. It wasn't funny. "The debt we can never repay." I read the title off my phone, the gala program draft. That's his speech topic, Brotherhood under fire. Jesus, I have to listen to him talk about honor, about sacrifice, about the bonds that hold us together. I looked at the DNA kit. While everyone who knows looks at me like I'm the idiot who can't do math. "What are you going to do?" I swabbed my cheek. The cotton felt rough against the inside of my mouth. Sealed the tube, clicked it shut. "I'm going to get proof," I said, "and then I'm going to burn it all down." The shooting range was the only place I could think clearly anymore. Ryan and I used to come here every Saturday morning. It was our routine, our tradition, brothers in arms. I'd shoot left-handed because of my leg injury. He'd give me shit about my grouping. We'd grab breakfast after, talk about nothing, about everything. I got there at 6 a.m. The range didn't open until 7, but I had a key. Perks of being a regular for 4 years. I was setting up at lane 12, our usual spot, when Ryan walked in. I didn't turn around, just kept loading magazines, the metallic click, click, click of rounds sliding into place. Rhythmic, controlled. "Mike," his voice behind me. "Didn't know you still had a key," I said. "Andre called me, said you wanted to talk." I turned around. Ryan Callahan, 37 years old, my former squad leader, the man who carried me off a battlefield in Afghanistan, my daughter's godfather, the man I'd named my brother, the man who was sleeping with my wife. "You look like shit," he said. "Funny, I feel worse." He tried to smile. It died on his face. He saw something in my eyes that killed it. "Mike, don't." I raised my hand. "Don't mic me. Don't use that voice. The one you use when you're trying to de-escalate a situation. I know about the baby." Silence. The range safety officer was in his booth, pretending not to watch. Ryan's face went through about 6 emotions in 2 seconds. Settled on resignation. "How long have you known?" he asked. "Does it matter?" "Mike, I never meant—" "You never meant what?" My voice was rising. Couldn't stop it. "You never meant to sleep with my wife? Never meant to get her pregnant? Never meant to coordinate your affair around my PTSD therapy sessions?" He went pale. "You know about—" "The Tuesday schedule?" I pulled out Jennifer's notebook. Pink spiral binding squeaked when I opened it. Page 37. R says can't do Tuesday. Mike has VA. That's you, Ryan. R for Ryan. Can't do Tuesday because you knew I'd be at therapy. Dealing with nightmares. Dealing with survivor's guilt about the day I saved your life. Jesus Christ, Mike. Every Tuesday at 10:30, I'm in Dr. Hendrick's office, talking about Afghanistan, about the IED, about carrying you 50 meters under fire, about the shrapnel that ended my career, the shrapnel that was meant for you. I was in his face now, close enough to see his pupils dilate, and every Tuesday at 10:30, you were with my wife, planning it, scheduling it, using my trauma as your window. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? He stepped back, ran his hands through his hair. It just happened. We were working on the Christmas program for the spouse group. She said she felt invisible, like you were always at work or therapy or recovering from saving your life. That's not fair. Fair? I laughed, cold, hard. You want to talk about fair? I carried you off that battlefield. I took shrapnel meant for you. I ended my career so you could go home to your wife. And this is what you give me. I carried you off that battlefield, Ryan said. His voice got harder, defensive. You'd be dead without me. There it was, the card I knew he'd play. I pulled the challenge coin from my pocket, brass, heavy. The engraving worn smooth from 7 years of me rubbing it like a talisman. Brothers for life, RC to MB. Yeah, I said. You did, and I've spent 7 years grateful, 7 years owing you, 7 years putting you first, inviting you to every holiday, making you Emma's godfather, trusting you with my family. I held the coin up to his face, close enough he could read the engraving. I carried you off that battlefield, I said, and I would have died for you. That's the difference, Ryan. You saved my life because that's what squad leaders do. I would have died for you because that's what brothers do. And you destroyed my life because that's what cowards do. Mike, you don't get to use that against me forever. I pulled my arm back. For a second, I saw his fear. Thought I was going to hit him. I threw my weapon on the bench instead. It clattered loud in the quiet range. My daughter wears a Ranger tab pin. You know why? My voice was shaking. Because she believes in honor, in the code, in sacrifice and brotherhood and everything the Rangers stand for. And you're spitting on it. You're the man she looks up to, the godfather who's supposed to protect her. And you betrayed her father. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. Ryan's eyes were wet. What do you want me to do? I want you to have not done it. I picked up the challenge coin again, felt its weight. But since we can't have that, I want you to know that you're released from brotherhood, from the debt, from all of it. I don't owe you anymore. Mike, please. But I was already walking away. Behind me, Ryan called out, I saved you. I stopped, didn't turn around. And I would have died for you, I said again. That's the difference. I left him there, in lane 12, our usual spot. I didn't look back. She said what? Andre's voice was dangerous. We were at a bar near Fort Campbell, quiet Tuesday afternoon. The bartender knew to leave us alone. That I came back broken? I stared at my beer, couldn't drink it, could not hold it. That Ryan was whole, that he reminded her of who I used to be before Afghanistan. Andre's jaw worked. Before you took shrapnel saving his life. Yeah. Mike, she tried to grab the notebook, the one with their schedule. Like, if she destroyed the evidence, I'd forget. I pulled it out of my jacket. Pink cover, coffee ring stains. Jennifer's perfume still lingered on the pages. I held it out of reach. She actually jumped for it. 8 months pregnant, jumping to destroy evidence of her affair. What did you say? I said, you coordinated around my PTSD therapy. While I was getting help for saving Ryan's life, you were sleeping with him. She started crying, said I was being cruel, that I didn't understand how hard it was being married to someone with PTSD. Andre slammed his hand on the bar. The bartender looked over. Andre waved him off. I was there, Andre said. His voice was low, lethal. I was there when you pulled Ryan out. You took that hit for him. 20 seconds slower, you'd both be dead. But you pushed him ahead. You took the shrapnel. And now she says I came back broken. I finally took a drink. It tasted like ash. Maybe I did. Don't. Andre grabbed my arm. Don't you dare. You came back a hero. You came back alive. You got help. You managed your PTSD. You showed up every Tuesday for 2 years to get better. That's not broken, Mike. That's strong. She doesn't see it that way. Because she's a coward. Andre leaned back. And so is Ryan. They used your strength against you, your commitment to healing, your dedication to being better. They weaponized it. My phone buzzed. Text from Jennifer. "We need to talk, for Emma's sake." I showed Andre. "For Emma's sake," he read. Jesus Christ, she's still manipulating. She wants me to pretend, to raise Ryan's baby, to keep the family together for Emma. I typed back, "Emma deserves the truth, unlike you. Send." "The DNA results should be back soon," Andre said. 3 to 5 business days. I checked the tracking. "Any day now." And then I have proof, legal proof, certified proof. I looked at my medical discharge papers. I'd been carrying them everywhere since the confrontation with Maria. The pages were getting softer, more worn. I took shrapnel for him. The least he can do is take responsibility for his kid. Andre raised his beer. "Rangers don't leave anyone behind. But they don't carry dead weight either," I finished. We drank to that, to brotherhood. Real brotherhood. The kind that doesn't betray you. The kind I thought I had. Colonel Patterson called me into his office Friday afternoon. James Patterson. Retired, 68 years old. Executive Director of Second Chance Warriors. My boss. My mentor. The closest thing to a father figure I'd had since my own dad died when I was 12. He looked older than I'd ever seen him. "Close the door," he said. I closed it, sat down. "Maria Martinez called the board," he said. My stomach dropped. She told them about Jennifer, about Ryan, about the baby. Patterson folded his hands on his desk. "She thought we should know, before the gala. Sir, don't sir me, Mike. I'm not active duty anymore." He sighed, rubbed his face. "Is it true?" "Yes." "Jesus Christ." Silence. The clock on his wall ticked. 43 seconds before either of us spoke. "Ryan's our keynote speaker," Patterson said. "The gala's in 8 days. 200 attendees, press, donors, the mayor." "I know." "His speech is about brotherhood, about sacrifice, about debts we can never repay." Patterson's voice was careful, too careful. "Mike, I need to ask you something, and I need you to really think about your answer." I waited. "Can you wait 2 weeks?" He leaned forward. "Let Ryan give the speech, get through the gala, then deal with your personal situation after." I stared at him. "Mike, Ryan's a $50,000 donor. His company matches every dollar he gives. That's $100,000 total. We serve 200 veteran families. If we lose Ryan's funding, you want me to stay silent. I want you to consider the bigger picture." The bigger picture. I laughed. No humor in it. "Ryan's speaking at our gala about honor, about brotherhood, about sacrifice. While everyone who knows that he betrayed the man who saved his life. And you want me to sit there and clap? I want you to think about the families we serve. I am thinking about them." I stood up. "I'm thinking about what we teach them, that integrity matters, that honor matters, or that we compromise those things when it's financially convenient. Mike, the donor wall in the lobby. Ryan's name is on it, 3rd spot, $10,000. I walked to Patterson's window, could see the bronze plaque from here. Every veteran who walks through our doors sees that name, sees Ryan Callahan, honored donor, trusted friend, and if I stay silent while he gives that speech, I turn back to Patterson. If I stay silent while he talks about brotherhood, about debts and honor and sacrifice, while I know he betrayed me, while I know he's a liar and a coward, while I know he weaponized my PTSD therapy to sleep with my wife, I shook my head. Then I become him. I become the lie. And everything we stand for here, it's worthless. Patterson's face was pained. "Think about it. Please, you have 8 days." "I don't need 8 days. Mike, the DNA results arrive Monday. I'll have legal proof, certified proof, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to tell Emma the truth. I'm going to file for divorce. And I'm removing Ryan from the gala. You can't, I can, and I will." I headed for the door. "You can fire me if you want, but I won't be complicit in this." "I'm not firing you." Patterson's voice was quiet, tired. "I'm just... God, Mike, this is a mess." "Yes, sir, it is." I left his office, walked past the donor wall. Ryan's name gleamed in bronze, permanent, unchangeable. Or so I thought. If you were Mike, would you stay quiet for 2 weeks to protect 200 veteran families who depend on the nonprofit type quiet. Or expose Ryan immediately and risk the funding, the gala, everything. Type truth. What would you do? I want to know. There's no right answer here. That's what makes betrayal so cruel. It forces you to choose between your integrity and people you're sworn to protect. Here's what I chose. The email arrived Monday at 2:47 p.m. I was in a staff meeting, 8 of us around the conference table, planning the final details for the gala, seating charts, program order, menu options. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I ignored it. It buzzed again and again. I pulled it out under the table. Email from Gene Direct Laboratory Services. Subject line, DNA test results. Order, Nawavbuon 82193. My hands went numb. I opened it. White background, blue header, laboratory logo, clinical font, impersonal. Test results for sample A, Michael Brennan, compared to prenatal sample via J. Brennan maternal sample. I scrolled down. Probability of paternity, 0.00%, 0.00. My vision blurred. The numbers swam. I kept scrolling. Alternative sample analysis, R. Callahan. He'd tested himself. Ryan had secretly submitted his own DNA. Probability of paternity, 99.8%. The phone screen smudged under my thumb. My thumbprint covered Ryan's name. Mike? Someone was talking. Patterson, maybe. You okay? I stood up. Chair scraped loud against the floor. Bathroom, I said. Walked out. Made it halfway down the hall. Pushed through the bathroom door. Locked myself in a stall. And vomited. Everything came up. Breakfast, coffee, 2 years of trusting the wrong people. 7 years of gratitude for a man who didn't deserve it. 11 years of marriage built on lies. I vomited until there was nothing left. Sat on the floor, cold tile against my back. The challenge coin was in my pocket. I pulled it out. Brass, heavy. Brothers for life. I gripped it so hard the edges cut into my palm. The bathroom door opened. Mike? Andre's voice. Yeah. My voice was hoarse, wrecked. Patterson sent me. Said you looked. He stopped, saw me on the floor. Jesus! I held up my phone, showed him the email. Andre read it. His face went stone. He tested himself, I said. Ryan submitted his own sample. He knew. He's known this whole time. Andre crouched down beside me. Mike? He's speaking at our gala in 8 days. My laugh sounded broken. He's going to stand at a podium in front of 200 people and talk about the debt we can never repay, about brotherhood, about honor, and he knows. He's known for months that he got my wife pregnant, and he said nothing. What are you going to do? I looked at the challenge coin in my palm. The engraving was leaving an imprint, red marks on my skin. Brothers for life. I'm done carrying this, I said. Patterson found us 10 minutes later. Andre and me, sitting on the bathroom floor like disaster victims. Patterson looked at us, at my phone still showing the DNA results, at my face. Jesus Christ, he said quietly. He's the father, I said, stating fact, clinical, detached. Patterson slid down the wall, sat with us on the tile floor, 3 veterans having the worst staff meeting of our lives. He's speaking in 8 days, Patterson said. I know. Mike, I'm telling Emma tomorrow, with Dr. Hendricks present. Then I'm filing for divorce. Then I'm removing Ryan from the gala. My voice was steady now, empty. You can fire me. You can keep his money. But I won't sit there and watch him lie. Not about this. Not about brotherhood. Patterson was quiet for a long moment. I'm not firing you, he said finally. And Ryan's not speaking. I looked at him. You're right, Patterson said. If we let him speak, if we let him stand up there and talk about honor, while we all know what he did, then we're liars too. And this place, he gestured vaguely toward the office. Everything we built, it's built on integrity, on truth, on actually helping veterans, not just performing help. The funding, we'll find other funding, we'll tighten budgets, we'll survive. Patterson pulled himself up, offered me a hand. But we won't survive losing our soul. Get up, Mike. You've got work to do. I took his hand, stood up. The challenge coin slipped from my palm, hit the tile with that distinctive clink, spun in a circle, settled with Ryan's initials facing up. I left it there. Dr. Lisa Hendricks' office smelled like lavender and old books. She'd been my therapist for 2 years, guided me through PTSD recovery, taught me coping mechanisms, helped me process Afghanistan. Now, she was helping my daughter process the end of her world. Emma sat on the couch beside me, 14 years old, still wearing her JROTC PT shirt from practice. The Ranger tab pin on her collar caught the light. She kept touching it, her nervous habit. "Emma," Dr. Hendricks said gently, "your dad has something to tell you. It's going to be difficult to hear, but he's telling you because he loves you and respects you. Do you understand?" Emma nodded, looked at me. Those eyes, my eyes, full of trust I was about to shatter. I pulled out the DNA results, printed on official letterhead, certified, legal, final. "Baby," I started, my voice cracked. Started again. "Remember how Mom announced she was pregnant back in March?" "Yeah." Emma's hand tightened on mine. "The timing didn't make sense to me. I was traveling when she said the baby was conceived. So I held up the paper. "I had a DNA test done." Emma's face went pale. "Dad, the baby isn't mine, sweetheart." Silence. The clock on Dr. Hendricks' wall ticked. 15 seconds. 20. "Who?" Emma's voice was small, childlike, the voice she hadn't used since she was 10. I showed her the second page, the alternative sample analysis. Ryan Callahan, probability of paternity, 99.98%. Emma stared at the paper, read it, read it again. Her hands started shaking. "Uncle Ryan?" Her voice rose. "My godfather? Uncle Ryan?" "Yes, but you saved his life in Afghanistan, the IED, the shrapnel." She was standing now, pacing. Dr. Hendricks stayed calm, let her process. "You took shrapnel for him. You ended your career for him. And he..." She stopped, put her hand over her mouth, then ran for the bathroom. I heard her vomit. Dr. Hendricks stood to go to her. I shook my head. "Let me." I found Emma on the bathroom floor, just like I'd been 3 days ago, just like her old man. Rangers run in the family, even when we're falling apart. "I'm sorry, baby," I said, sat down beside her. "I'm so sorry. I led worship with him." Her voice was thick with tears. "At youth group, I brought friends because I trusted him. I told girls he was safe. Dad, how many girls did he..." "No," I pulled her close. "This was about your mom, not anyone else." Dr. Hendricks checked. "There's no pattern, just this." She cried into my shoulder, 14 years old, and the world made no sense anymore. "I thought military families were different," she sobbed. "I thought we had honor. I wear this..." She touched the Ranger tab pin. "I wear this because I believe in what it means. Sacrifice, brotherhood, honor, and Uncle Ryan wore one. He was a Ranger, and he..." "Should I take it off?" She looked up at me. "Does it mean nothing?" "No," I cupped her face. "No, baby. That pin is yours. You earned it. You earned it by showing up every day, by believing in something bigger than yourself, by choosing to be better. That's your honor. Not his, not mine, yours." "But Rangers don't quit," I said. "Neither do you. You wear that tab because you earned it, because you've got more integrity in your little finger than Ryan has in his whole body." She cried harder. "I thought our family was perfect. I bragged about us at school. Perfect parents, perfect life. And I'm so sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry you had to be the one to tell me. You deserved someone to protect you." That broke me. I held my daughter and we cried together. Father and daughter. 2 Rangers on a bathroom floor, choosing truth over comfortable lies. "Was any of it real?" Emma asked finally, quietly. "The brotherhood? The friendship?" "Mine was," I said. "His wasn't. That's the difference." Dr. Hendricks appeared in the doorway. "How are we doing?" Emma wiped her eyes, sat up straighter. I saw the soldier in her, the strength, the steel. "I want to stay with Dad," Emma said. "When you divorce Mom, I want to live with Dad." "Emma, I'm 14. The court will listen to me." She looked at Dr. Hendricks. "Right?" "Yes," Dr. Hendricks said gently. "At your age, your preference matters." Emma turned to me. "I choose you. I choose truth. I choose honor." She touched her Ranger tab. "I choose to be a Ranger, a real one." I pulled her close again. My daughter, my partner, my fellow soldier in this war I didn't ask for. "Rangers lead the way," I whispered. All the way, sir, she whispered back. I met Ryan in the nonprofit parking lot that night. 11 p.m., empty lot, security camera recording. He was waiting by his truck when I pulled up. He looked like he hadn't slept in days. Good. I got out, walked toward him. He started to speak. Don't, I said. I pulled out the challenge coin, held it up in the sodium light. The brass gleamed. 7 years of wear, 7 years of gratitude, 7 years of owing him my life. I've carried this for 7 years, I said. Reminded myself every day that I owed you my life, that I'd be dead without you. That brotherhood meant loyalty. Forever. Ryan's eyes were wet. Mike, you know what? I held the coin closer to him, let him see the engraving. A life debt doesn't include permission to destroy it. You saved my life in Afghanistan, and I've repaid that debt 1,000 times over. Trusting you, opening my home to you, making you Emma's godfather, believing in you. I opened his hand, placed the coin in his palm. His fingers closed around it reflexively. You're released from Brotherhood, I said. The debt's paid. I don't owe you anymore. Mike, please. His voice broke. I saved you, and I would have died for you. I stepped back. That's the difference, Ryan. You saved me because that's what squad leaders do. It's training. It's duty. I would have died for you because that's what brothers do. It's love. It's choice. I pulled out the box of his belongings. Dog tags on top, stainless steel, that distinctive clink. Everything you left at my house. Don't come back. Mike, blood doesn't make family, I said. Honesty does. You're not my family anymore. I carried you off that battlefield. He was crying now. You'd be dead without me. I looked at him. Really looked at him. Saw the coward behind the hero. The liar behind the brother. The betrayer behind the savior. Rangers don't leave anyone behind, I said. But they don't carry dead weight either. I walked back to my truck, started the engine. In my rearview mirror, Ryan stood in the empty parking lot. Holding the challenge coin, alone. I didn't look back. The Veterans Day Gala was at the Clarksville Convention Center. 200 attendees in dress uniform and formal wear. Press, donors, the mayor, local news cameras, 5-course dinner, open bar, annual tradition. The program listed Ryan Callahan as keynote speaker, the debt we can never repay. But when Colonel Patterson took the stage for opening remarks, he announced a change. Ladies and gentlemen, due to unforeseen circumstances, we've had a change in tonight's program. Instead of our originally scheduled keynote, we'll hear from Michael Brennan, our senior transition coordinator, and a man who embodies the values we celebrate tonight. Murmurs through the crowd. Confusion. Some people knew. Most didn't. Emma walked onto the stage with me. JROTC dress blues, every button polished, Ranger tab pin gleaming. She stood beside me, grabbed my hand. I had no notes, no prepared speech, just truth. Some of you know, I started, I was supposed to introduce someone else tonight. I can't do that, because real brotherhood isn't silence in the face of betrayal. It's telling the truth even when it costs everything. The room went quiet. You could hear silverware settling on plates. 7 years ago, I was carried off a battlefield in Afghanistan by my squad leader. He saved my life. I took shrapnel in the process, ended my career. I've spent 7 years grateful, 7 years feeling like I owed him everything. I looked at Emma. She squeezed my hand. Today I realized something. A life saved doesn't give license to destroy it. Gratitude doesn't mean blind loyalty. And brotherhood, real brotherhood, isn't about keeping secrets to protect image. It's about telling truth to protect integrity. Some people started standing. Others sat frozen. I saw Ryan near the back. He looked like a ghost. I don't know what happens next, I said. I don't know if this organization survives. I don't know if my family survives. But I know this. The values we claim to honor, integrity, honor, courage, truth, they only matter if we practice them when it costs us, when it hurts, when everyone's watching, and it would be easier to stay silent. Emma's hand in mine, steady, strong. Some of you will leave tonight thinking I'm bitter, or vengeful, or broken. I looked directly at Ryan, but I'm none of those things. I'm free. Free from carrying a debt that was weaponized against me. Free from a brotherhood that was conditional. Free from silence. The applause started slowly. A few people. then more, then a standing ovation. Not everyone stood, maybe 60%. 40% stayed seated. Some walked out. That was okay. Emma stood with me. Patterson stood. Andre stood. The veterans who understood, who'd faced their own betrayals, their own impossible choices. They stood. And that was enough. That was brotherhood. The next 3 weeks were a blur. Divorce filed. Jennifer moved in with her mother. Maria called once to apologize. I didn't answer. Maybe someday. Not yet. Ryan checked himself into the VA's inpatient PTSD program. Finally admitted he'd never dealt with Afghanistan. Never processed the guilt of being carried out while others died. Tried to fill the hole with alcohol and lies and my wife. He'd pay child support. He'd have structured visitation eventually. Emma would have a half-sibling who'd grow up knowing the truth. Age-appropriate truth. Honest truth. The nonprofit board met. Voted unanimously to support me. Keep my position. Remove Ryan's keynote speech from the archives. His name stayed on the donor wall. Patterson was right about that. The money was real even if the loyalty wasn't. We lost some donors, gained more. Turns out, people respect integrity. Taylor, my younger sister, moved to Clarksville to help with Emma. We hadn't spoken in 3 years. Family drama I'd let Ryan's brotherhood replace. She showed up the day after the gala, hugged me, said, "Real family shows up." Jennifer started therapy, real therapy. Not performing for an audience, actually dealing with why she'd betrayed someone who loved her. Maybe she'd get better. Maybe not. Not my problem anymore. Mike and Emma redefined what family means. Not who you're born to. Not who shares your blood. But who shows up when everything falls apart. If you've built your own chosen family, the people who stood by you when biology didn't, tell me about them in the comments. Those stories matter. And if this story moved you, if it made you think about honor and truth and what we owe the people who fail us, subscribe. I tell stories about the hard choices, betrayal, redemption, and the courage to choose integrity when it costs everything. I'll see you in the next one. 4 weeks after the gala, Emma and I went to the shooting range. Same range, same time. Saturday morning, 6 a.m. The range safety officer nodded when we walked in, gave Emma a guest pass. "Lane 12?" he asked. I looked at lane 12, our old spot, Ryan's and mine. 4 years of Saturday mornings, coffee after, brotherhood, empty now. "Yeah," I said. "Lane 12." We set up. Emma had never shot before. I walked her through it. Safety check, stance, grip, sight picture. "Breathe," I said. "Gentle squeeze. Don't anticipate the recoil." She fired, missed the target completely. Looked at me, embarrassed. "Again," I said. She fired, clipped the edge. Better. Again. 5 shots, 6, 7. By the 10th shot, she was grouping center mass. Not perfect, but solid. "Good," I said. "Real good." We sat down at the bench, reloaded magazines, the mechanical click-click-click of rounds sliding into place. Rhythmic, meditative. Lane 11 sat empty. Ryan's spot. "Does it get easier, Dad?" Emma asked, quiet. Just us and the muffled sound of shots from other lanes. I looked at the empty lane, at the space where my brother used to stand, at the hole he left behind. "Some people leave the unit," I said. "The range still works." Emma nodded, understanding. "We focus forward," I said. She looked at me. 14 years old. Ranger tab pin on her collar. My daughter, my partner, my battle buddy in this war we didn't choose. "Forward," she agreed. We put on our ear protection, faced the targets. The empty lane beside us stayed empty. That was okay. The mission continued. The work continued. The healing continued. Rangers don't quit. We focused forward, together.